Alright. Hello, party people. Welcome to or welcome back to Taylor's Corner of the Internet. On this channel, we talk about cross-stitch, knitting, a little bit of lifestyle, and a whole lot of reading. So, today, I'm going to be talking about the books that I read in January. I personally read 4 books, 2 physical and 2 audio. The first book I finished was on July 11th, and it was The Outsiders by S.E Hinton. And then I'm going to read the blurb because when I try to describe books, I get confused. And because it's been like 6 months since I've read these. Okay. So the blurb on Storygraph is, I really couldn't see what the socias would have to sweat about good grades, good cars, good girls, Madras and Mustangs and Covares. Man, I thought, if I had worries like that, I'd consider myself lucky. I know better now. Ponyboy is a greaser. He wears his hair long and wavy and slicked back, and his shirt's tight to show off his muscles. Sometimes he carries a knife, but it's usually just for show. He lives on the wrong side of the tracks with his older brother's dairy and soda pop. Even though his parents died in a car accident, Ponyboy gets to live with his brothers, as long as they behave. So Ponyboy stays out of trouble as much as he can, and is careful not to get caught when he can't. Sometimes Ponyboy wishes he lived someplace where he didn't have to worry about walking alone at night, or what the socias might jump him and do what they did to his friend Johnny. Would he always be looking over his shoulder, always afraid, always an outsider? And this is a reread for me, as I read it in middle school for class. And I thought it was good then. I do want to watch the movie. There is the movie. But I rated this book 5 stars. I read it as an audiobook. And I just thought that S.E Hinton, she did a great job with the writing, and the narrators that they picked were excellent. And just, I really felt for Ponyboy. I mean, I haven't been in a situation like that. But it's just like the reminder that the grass isn't always greener on the other side, even if we think so. And then just how S.E Hinton sets up each event, I thought was really cool. And then just how like the whole thing wraps up, I thought was nice. But I do want to watch the movie. The next book is Forbidden Cities by James Ponti. This is a physical book I read. And, alright, so this is the 3rd book in the City Spies series. I'm going to rotate this. Okay. After taking down a mole within their organization, the City Spies are ready for their next mission, once again using their unique skills and ability to infiltrate places adults can't. The sinister Umbra has their sights set on recruiting a North Korean nuclear physicist by any means necessary, and the City Spies plan to keep an eye on his son by sending Paris to the chess prodigies tournament in Moscow and Beijing. Meanwhile, Sydney's embedded as a junior reporter for a teen lifestyle site as she follows the daughter of a British billionaire on tour with the biggest act on her father's music label, to uncover what links both the band and the billionaire have to a recent threat from an old Soviet missile base. From a dark break-in at one of London's most exclusive homes to a dangerous undercover mission to a desperate search and rescue operation on the streets of Beijing. The City Spies have their work cut out for them on their most dangerous mission yet. I will say, this one did seem more dangerous than the first 2 books. I really love this series. I know it's middle grade, but it's like kind of... I like the mystery books, like you get the trying to solve it. And I like how it kind of goes back and forth between the two groups. And you're not sticking with one group for too long. Because as it says, they split up. And just like, it really touches on a sibling dynamic, even though they technically aren't siblings. Because they were, I wouldn't say kidnapped or recruited, but that's kind of what they were for the program, as they found them. And then it's called City Spies because the kids changed their name from what it was to what city they're from. So Paris is from Paris, Sydney is from Sydney, Australia. I think that's the other two. And there's a few more. And yeah, you get to see a family dynamic, but they aren't really family. It's more found family, and one of the people there entered a lot later than everyone else, so it's just trying to find a way to fit in. I just think it's awesome. I give it 4.25 stars. I can't remember why I docked it. Oh, I just think I wasn't vibing with it at the time. Maybe it felt a little slow, but yeah. Book's great. James Ponti is fabulous writer. There's some really insightful quotes, especially about writing in this one, but I can't remember what they are. That's a bummer. And there's a few more books in this series. How many books do I have left? And I do want to read the next one. There is 6 so far. I don't know if there's going to be a 7th one. Yes, but there's 6 books. And they fly by, like, they're easy reads. I think I was busier during this time, so I didn't read a whole lot. Okay, the next book I listened to this one, is There's No Such Thing as an Easy Job. And it is by Kikuko Tsumura. It's Japanese. It's a Japanese book that's been translated into English. And the description is, a young woman walks into an employment agency and requests a job that has the following traits. It's close to her home. It requires no reading, no writing, and ideally very little thinking. Her first gig, watching the hidden camera feed of an author suspected of storing contraband goods, turns out to be inconvenient. When can she go to the bathroom? Her next gives away to the supernatural, announcing advertisements for shops that mysteriously disappear. As she moves from job to job, writing trivia for rice cracker packages, punching entry tickets to a perpetually haunted public park. I don't remember that job. It becomes increasingly apparent that she's not searching for the easiest job at all, but something altogether more meaningful. But when she finally discovers an alternative to the daily grind, it comes with a price. This is the first time work by Kikuko. Oh, so this is her debut novel. Okay. Yeah, so There's No Such Thing as an Easy Job is a witty, as it is unsettling. It was a bit unsettling. A jolting look back at the maladies of the late capitalist life through the unique and fascinating lens of modern Japanese culture. I thought this book was good. It kind of got a little boring towards the end because it felt kind of repetitive, and she complains a lot. I do think, like, the way they talked about each job is interesting, and the jobs were interesting, but it felt longer than it needed to be. Like, this audiobook did not need to be nearly 10 hours. And I gave it 3.75 stars. Again, I do rate things a little. I thought the writing was good. It just felt a little long and a little bit repetitive. But it really is. The jobs you think are easy are really not actually that easy. Alright, the next and final book I read was the 13th volume of Spy X Family by Tatsuya Endo. Oh, I'm so sorry for butchering the last two authors' names. Okay, I can't describe this one. So basically, it's a family. So Twilight, or Lloyd, is a spy. And for his mission, he needs to be part of a family. So he finds a girl that apparently likes him. And then they adopt a daughter. Well, the other two characters have hidden secrets. The wife is an assassin. And she also marries Twilight / Lloyd as a cover-up for her assassin gig. She also works at City Hall. And then the daughter, Anaya, is a telepath. Yes. I think that's the word. But she can read everyone's minds. And I think including, eventually they get a dog. The dogs, so Lloyd / Twilight and Yuka? Oh no. I can't remember. His wife. I can't remember his wife's name. Oh well. Like, they don't know anything about each other. Like, their actual jobs. But Anaya does. And then they go to a prestigious school to get, because it's part of the mission. For Lloyd, everything's part of the mission. And she tries to become friends with this really powerful guy. And I feel like it's akin to what I've learned about, like, East and West Germany and, like, how they're fighting. But it's, instead of it's Estonia in, West Estonia, I think. But yeah, they're just trying to get world peace. And this is the 13th one. It's really cute. The art is good. It's a manga series. And there is, I think, 16 volumes out. Yes. And I do want to read the others. I just got reminded. But my TBR is like 800 books long. So it might be a minute before I get to those. Depending on when it gets picked. Alright. That is everything I read in January. I hope you guys liked it. Unfortunately, this party ends here. And you do have an open invitation to the next party. But if you cannot wait that long, feel free to continue the party in the comments, and I will see you there when I can. Alright, have a good day. Bye!